Good morning. My name is Sam Patz, and I'm at the Brigham and Women's Hospital, and we have a Center for Pulmonary Functional Imaging there, which has collaborations with pulmonologists, radiologists, other physicists like myself, and it's really a very productive group. We work, well, let me go back first. As most of you know, to making an MRI image of the lung using standard protons is very, very difficult, mostly because the lung is full of gas spaces. And so we use this hyperpolarization technique that Aaron Grant described to you, not for carbon-13, but to magnetize very highly either helium-3 or xenon-129. So doing that, you can actually, how do I click the movie to get it started? I think I have to go here. There we go. So doing that, you can magnetize these gases very, very highly, and the gas comes in. For example, here's a dynamic ventilation movie. You can see it going through the trachea, mainstem bronchi, out into the parenchymal spaces. This is a real-time movie of breathing in and breathing out. And this sort of is illustrative of the sort of signal-to-noise ratio improvement you can get in actually making images of the gas spaces here in ventilation. Helium stays within the gas spaces. It has negligible solubility in tissue, but xenon, as shown on the lower part of this slide here, actually follows the same pathway as oxygen. And so it goes down through the airways into the alveolar gas spaces and then diffuses into the septal tissue and blood. And once it does that, it has a different chemical shift. Its spectral frequency is different. And so watching the uptake in the septa and the blood as a function of time, you can actually measure things like the alveolar surface area, which is very important to diagnose chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. And here you can just see some measurements of the surface area per unit volume, which for the lung, by the way, is about the size of a tennis court. You know, you have a huge surface area in your lung to promote efficient gas exchange at different lung volumes. What we use in these experiments is a laser polarizer that magnetizes the gas, you know, maybe 100,000 times more than you can get with the magnetization you get in a 1.5T scanner. We put it in a Tedlar bag and we add a little bit of oxygen and breathe it. And what happens is here's the xenon septal uptake curve. Here's the gas signal. Oops. This is not very strong laser here. You can see the signal from the gas is a function of time. This is a function of time, and the signal in the dissolve phase is increasing. This increases as a square root of t initially. You can see on the bottom right here. And this is the septal uptake of xenon. In the beginning part of the curve of the uptake increases diffusively. It gives you the surface to volume ratio. It would level off to saturate if there was no blood flow, which would be representative of sort of the capacity of the septa, that's septal thickness. And then there's a difference between actually leveling off and what it really does due to capillary blood flow. So in this simple few-second experiment, you can get 3 functional parameters related to COPD, alveolar surface area, related to septal thickness, which has to do with fibrosis and interstitial disease, and capillary transit time from this part of the data, telling you something about pulmonary vascular health. So we have several ongoing studies. One is a NIH-sponsored study to measure these parameters in COPD subjects. We're also using this to measure to study high-altitude pulmonary edema, and also we're using these techniques to study recovery of lung function in diseased animal lungs, which have been treated with a progenitor cells, which are a successor of stem cells. And one other project I want to describe, this ventilation stethoscope project. We're also using this in the neonatal intensive care unit to make a portable ICU magnet that is based on 2 permanent magnets, which produces an area of region, a homogeneous field region outside of itself. It projects it out. So you hold it up to the subject. So anyway, I'll just close up here. This is using it to measure ventilation in the neonatal intensive care unit in a portable system. And here's my contact information. Thank you very much.